Just a quick update. I've now painted in the grey bits that the track was laid over, just some dirty brown colour, and I've also done these tracks the same. Hadn't finished that off, still hasn't been ballasted. It starts to be ballasted about here on the right hand side and a little bit further up on the left hand side. Starts to be ballasted there, so I've got to get on and do it. There's a lot of ballasting to be done. So basically the board is uniform. So today I've got to get the electrical contacts soldered, my favourite worst job, and then I've got to adjust those wires down here. Those wires there can actually stay where they are more or less, because that's where the new line's going to go. So no, it's not. This one's going to come across here, isn't it? So that needs to be moved across. So I've got to find out where the line's going to go. That will stay where it is. Those ones will stay where they are because that line will go down there. But this line will come down here, more in keeping with that junction there. So I've got the track. Got a load of track actually. Code 55 I use. Flexi. This whole layout is built in code 55. And I've got a dozen or more pieces. Oh, I should have probably got 24 pieces of flexi track. So I'll get on and do that during the course of today. So hopefully I can get them laid back in, all wired up, make sure they're running. Well, actually not make sure they're running, but make sure they're wired in. I can test that they got electricity with a meter. And then that'll be another job done. And at least that will make that more usable with my 3-car unit, which will have plenty of room to park in there and not block the 2-car unit, which is in the far lane. So there you go, a little bit of painting, and that's about it. Well, I finished this area and I actually changed my mind. So I'm not going to have a platform in those 2 sidings that are occupied. They are going to remain sidings. And the reason for that is trains can come down here. They can then go off into the yard here, come down here into the head shunt for the yard. Oops, sorry about that. And then they come back up into the yard, into the yard, into the yard, and then they can, I'm having that area, it's very long, can take a 4-coach train there easily, diesel unit. So I'll be able to have that as a refueling bay for this. So they come back down here, use that as a head shunt, back out up there, which is a head shunt, the 3rd line. Sorry about all the buildings all over the place. Come back along here, come along here, and they'll be able to go back out onto the main track. There you'll be able to go into platform 7, station siding 1 and station siding 2. And the main thing of this, previously when the Southwest train or any other 3-car DMU was sat there, the far siding couldn't be used. So if I've got this right, I should now be able to bring out my little, what I think is a 104, and it comes past there easily. Lovely. Reverse it. So they will just be sidings. And obviously the southwest DMU can move forward whenever it wants to. And obviously that too would be able to go down that way. In fact, I might just show you that. So I'll just reverse that a moment, back into its siding. I'm doing this all one-handed. So I need to change switch 67 to phone, 77 to closed, move some houses. Excuse me a minute. Excuse me a minute. Too many houses in the way. Too many houses in the way. Right. Okay. So bring that one down. That's going into the yard area. Don't know how clean the track is here. And then reverse it. Switch 77 phone. And then that can go up into that refueling point. And as you can see, if I just stop that at the beginning, you can see there's plenty of room there. I've already tested this actually. My cross-country 4-car units fit in there easily. So that's going to be a refueling point for my diesel electrics. So there you go. So I'll bring him back out, change direction, forward. And the only other thing I've got to do in this area is, sorry my camera work, reverse, and then bring that back out. That's the line that connects the main circuit with the yard, and that can hold a 3-car unit, that's all. So that you can sit in there with a 3-car unit, but you can't sit in there with a 4-car unit. So that can then go back up to its station siding. Okay. And there you go. So that's what I've been doing. It's taken me all week to do that because of my ill health. I find it very, very difficult to do things. I've got a very serious heart condition that stops me from working a long time, and I especially can't work upside down or do things above my head with ease. But there you go. That's what I've done. Another job for me to do. These are already wired. These tracks are wired for power, but they are just track power. Now I have got something like, I can't remember if it's 6 or 7 spare feeds from my BDL 168s, and I need to bring them up here and have these as blocks. This one here, the feed line, is already a block. So the computer knows when a train is there because it shows it. But once I go beyond the track that feeds the yard, once I get here, this is just powered by track power. There are no feeds. So I need 1 in here, and I need 2, 3, 4, which is just a wiring job underneath the layout, which I can do at any time once I find the 4 free feeds. So yeah, and then the layout will be able to be seen by the computer, and then I'd be able to have an automatic schedule that brings a train from one of those sidings down here through the line that feeds it into the siding area, into the head shunt, which goes up there next to the fence, and then back through that point back into any one of those three sidings. Those two sidings here are actually, there's an engine shed that goes up there, an engine shed, but that one I'm going to have as a fueling point. But I'm also going to have the fueling point in the middle here that will also deal with these units here. And that's it. That's the end of my update. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.